Chief, I'd like to thank you for meeting with me today.
Okay.
And got just a few questions I'd like to ask. Are we going to have a meeting on Tuesday with the county commission? Have they agreed to hear this?
The Board of Fire Commissioners sent a formal request asking to be placed on their agenda. It is my understanding that it's been placed on the consent and that I have good feelings about them pulling that from consent and discussing the options, yes.
Okay. So there's a good chance that you're going to get to talk, or if somebody wants to talk about this, that
Right.
the commission's going to...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That was kind of cool. Okay. Why is it important that people show up?
I think it's important to find out whether or not the fire department that they voted on becoming an independent district will have the ability to fund its operation for the following year up until such a point where they could be asked the question again whether or not they want to give the district taxing authority. So it's really, the meeting is more or less a stopgap to provide funding to get us at least to another election to try and save the taxpayers money to not have a special election to fund the district.
And what kind of figures have you been getting as far as having a special election if you had to do that?
Currently, I've got a phone call into the supervisor elections to get a more accurate figure. I mean, the media has printed in the past. I've seen it range anywhere from 50,000 to 150,000. I think the person who can give the accurate figure would be the supervisor of elections.
Now, I know all these attorneys have been meeting. You know, the county's attorney, the clerk of the court's attorney, you know, the fire district's attorneys.
Yes.
You know, are they saying that this is legal?
The county attorney and both the clerk of the court's attorney has taken a position that there are some legal concerns that they've addressed. They believe the best method is to go to the governor and ask for financial urgency. On the other end, Attorney Salzman and an attorney by the name of Terry Lewis from Lewis, Longman & Walker have opined that the county is well within their legal right to do that by the creation of what they call a municipal service taxing unit, and then they can contract with the district to provide the service until such time they can get back to the voters and find out once and for all whether or not they want this district to exist and do they want this district to have taxing authority.
It was MTSU, is that what it's called?
Municipal Service Taxing Unit. Yes.
Okay. That's been done in the past.
That's how we were funded for the past 30-some odd years.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask this. This is a personal question. Under the county's method of taxation, you know, would my personal house, you know, go up, you know, and would I have an increase in tax? And I live over close to Pristine Place over here in Spring Hill, you know, and right now I'm paying tax on after my homestead exemption. It's like $60,000 that I'm paying tax on, you know, and right now it would be, you know, that amount I'm paying $150, you know, tax for the Spring Hill Fire District. You know, under the county's method, would that go up?
The way the county is currently structured, they charge a flat rate assessment for fire, and they charge ad valorem for EMS, which is how you have to do it by state statute. If tomorrow your home was inside of the county's fire protection boundaries, you would pay $194.87 flat rate fee for fire, regardless of the size of your home, and then they would assess roughly, I believe it's 0.559 towards EMS. So, doing the math off the top of my head, you're probably going to be looking at about $239 if you were to be taxed. Under the current method the county uses, you're looking at probably roughly about a $75 to $80 increase.
So I'd end up with an increase there. Yeah, just off of the flat tax.
The way the current taxing structure currently exists, yes.
Okay. Well, then I think we all should go down to the county commission.
Yeah, I think it's advisable, I mean, just to be informed, to find out what's going on. I truly believe that if the Board of County Commission is shown a way that they can do this where they're not violating any laws and they're not going to get themselves in trouble or wind up finding themselves in court over this whole thing, I think they're more than open to doing what we need to do to keep this thing moving in the right direction. But I will agree at some point in time it needs to be settled once and for all. So really what we're asking for them to do is levy this tax for it on our behalf up until we can get to the next general election in an attempt to avoid a special election and not burden the taxpayer with, a bill to run special, an exorbitant bill financially to get this election process going.
Okay, but basically what you're saying is you want to have one more election. You'd rather it be in the general election, which is coming up a year from now.
Yes.
Okay, in 2012. But that, whatever happens then, basically that settles the issue.
I think both parties have discussed and shown concern over it needs to be settled once and for all. This is not something that we need to be continually doing year after year after year. Sooner or later, for the lack of better terms, you just need to call the question.
Mm-hmm.
Once and for all, is it going to be a special independent district with the ability to tax, or is it going to be a county-wide service? Then again, that's not saying that the county even wants to be in the business of having a county-wide fire service. Obviously these are my opinions. I mean, I still work for an elected board. That's the elected officials' decisions on which direction they want to go. But I believe currently the board voted to approach the Board of County Commission to attempt to have them do this taxing for us until such time we can get back to a general election.
Okay. Well, Chief, I know you've been on vacation. I appreciate you coming in and
Thanks.
talking, and wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.